ويثيدي دي تولين تيكيو 5 كان ساغا وانت نومين تروحوا قبيلي امازيغ سوق مزيغ اما دي تمازغ تفريق توقفا ناض قمضه لندما لان كيقا معطوب ان دايله وقبيلي ان دايله ومزيغ تنسقض تيكلتا نروح يون هذا مزيغ ما تشمي مزيغ النظام دا مزيغ يسعان يزوران ضاعي بغانين ابرو نار جويف هاث ذيك التمزوثة دملي المكاكين يون كاكين الى ذا مزيغ دوريجين جويف غاسو لما لان تخفن ما تودي الماروك تونس دي ليبيا وغادي الجزائر لان وكين جمال بن حمو راسليس سيسوس انزول الماروك ماشي تيدير ذي الامريكان ذي ثمن تكساس نون سوفي فلوريد ليطا دو فلوريد داو امريكان 12 سنايا نتا بن حمو جمال بن حمو يبويد هنا من قار باتشلور دي تسني ليست على linguistique كذا اينك يشدن اساغن ايغرلان من قار انجليزي باتشلور of in linguistics and international relations ثورة كان يخدم ماسترينس graduate education in linguistics at Florida State University. This is with نوانيك فلوريدا داغن جمال بن حمو كثورة يضصل تكنيكي نا technical analyst and a legal interpreter and advisor for the US Department of Justice. دمشيور ذي نغلف نتقدمت للماريكا نسينير جمال بن حمو زلف لك يا جمال.
أزلف لك رشيد. Thank you for having me.
أول فان كثير من مكان عداني إنيا جمال كتشيني كثير تصير الأمريكان سعد تنظينك دي الماروك دي السوس حكوا يارد كثير فلك كثير شوية سومتا أما سوسيث شوية مزمد مسلاية فلاس ناس أمريكانيث ناس إنجليزيث.
Well, thanks again, Rashid, for having me. So my name is Jamal Benhamou. I was actually born in the south of Morocco, and to be exact, in the anti-Atlas Mountains, just a little outside Terudent. I came to the United States a little over 12 years ago. I came here for my graduate education. I ended up staying here. So I am an amazigh of the Sous region in Morocco. I speak Tashlhit, or some people prefer to call it Tasousit. And I have a Jewish background, even though I am Muslim. And so I've been living in Florida. I lived in Missouri before, then moved to Florida because basically the weather is a lot better in Florida. And I have a degree in linguistics. I also have a degree in international relations with a focus in diplomacy. And I am currently pursuing a graduate degree in linguistics with a focus in second language acquisition. I don't know if that's enough, but feel free to ask me any specific questions.
Yes, fair enough. All what you said already, grosso modo, I said it translated in language in the beginning, but fair enough. وكان درنو رشيد دينا جمال بن حمو إنك كي دينا نتساري ساعة لصليس ضاعي بغاني مشى ثورة يغال دا نسلم هذا الشيء كي غاي جنة كسير كي كذا كي نتسلم دغزوها كي مزنو يسينير جمال how come you say that you have a Jewish background but you are Muslim? Can you tell us more about that, because it's not easy to understand two different religions. How come you became Muslim? Can you tell us more about that?
So pretty much usually in the Jewish religion, once you are a Jew, you are always a Jew. It wouldn't make sense. But to me, I actually do not agree with that idea. I believe human beings can choose, of course, to, self-identify and choose whatever religion they are. Obviously, Morocco, and not just Morocco, North Africa in general, like before the coming of Islam and Muslims, like, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, there used to be a sizable like Jewish community. And actually, I don't want to say that most of North Africans used to be Jewish at one point, but a lot of them actually, some of them converted to the Jewish religion. Some of them actually came from Israel, and after the destruction of the Jewish temple, and the other Jewish communities were, of course, kicked out of the Iberian Peninsula from Spain and Portugal, and a lot of them settled in Morocco and Algeria as well. So that's so when I say I have a Jewish background, that basically means that in my family, we don't practice the Jewish religion anymore. We only have very few, practicing Jews in my family.
But when you say Muslim, general, just per se, like most of people, a lot of people, they don't pray, they don't do Ramadan, but they proclaim themselves as Muslim. Is it the case for you?
No, it's not. It's not the case for me. Actually, I'm actually. I don't want to say I am a devout Muslim, but I am a practicing Muslim. I pray, I fast. And even my wife, which she's American, she was born in California. She became a Muslim in 2015. Of course. So look, one can be a Muslim and still be an amazigh.
Okay. ولما جودنير مس جمال بن حمو البروفيلينس وذمينس داني سوهمن دقاقا نسار ام الصفات كي تتوليم يشوفها ذا عبراني جويف منا كيقال يغال دا مسلم انا يسباتيكي الاسلام وذا عندها مزيغ اللي فيك دو سون مازيغيتي يحكى ديك كي وكاديك فمن تانجليزي كي بلان كيقاري وذاين سي كي لان يتفخ وقفا وقبل لدسن وعرفن نسلم في لان وذاين نعدايوك كي تزغم مزيغا نعدن دوك في الديانات لان دو وذاين لان دي مسيحيين دي مسلمان لان دي باغانيست كان تو لان ياك دونك شي كي فيه لو شارم de la société amazigh نلفنا نتمثل امازيغ نرا كان جمال بن حمود فهمت شي دنيا فهمت
ايميك
يا زعما هذا المسلايد كي كيسمازيغ نزون طون زون طون سي غدا تمثل ولكن وكاد غادي تولي كام داكيا سوسيث الشلحيث سوماتا my next question سقسي ودي تسدون جمال بن حمو فشو كيد يتساولا خاطر ولا غدا كان تسداويث بن-غوريون مزكان كنزول اسرائيل الساوله كيد وكناس نصمد ينايا او يفنا تصمد ايوا شو يتساوليك تشينيا تنسداويث كاين بن-غوريون وكناس نخمض سراغ غاف ينايا do you understand my question? It's easy.
I think you not quite. I know it's related to the Ben-Gurion University and my involvement with them and my speech.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I don't quite understand the question itself.
Yeah, tell us what's the reason Ben-Gurion University was interested on your profile and they called you to do a conference about Yennayer as
Okay. Well, obviously, what's happening in Israel today is a lot of Jewish people are finding out more and more about the amazigh awakening in North Africa. Like back in the day, like just about like 20 years ago, most of people in Israel only thought of Morocco and Algeria, Tunisia. They thought of it basically as an Arab region. But now they're discovering that there is, there is more to that. These people are not really Arabs. These people have been silenced for a long time. So they are discovering, about the amazigh culture, especially that a lot of in Israel, like one in three Israelis is a Moroccan Jew. So these people are discovering their background and their culture, especially like even in Israel today, there are Moroccans who speak Hebrew and Tamazight.
Wow.
But they are, as I said, right now with social media, with the, the amazigh awakening. The university reached out to me to learn more about the amazigh culture, the amazigh language, the amazigh movement and struggle, and the changes that are taking place in all of these countries. And I took advantage, because we would like to, teach not just people in Israel, but the world about who we are. We have been there all this time, and now the world is discovering us.
أشو دينا مس جمال بن حمو ذاكن سبان جان تسداويت بن-Gurion أسد إيديز كان كونزول لإسرائيل كي تدنيغ لتزويرا قرناس تسداويت ريغاف إيديز كان كي كونزول إسرائيل فاش تساولن وكنا دي سين نوغان إن المدن يقلن دي تسداويت نيا يون الديبارتمون كيميا إن المدن كنيا الشيخ نسن ناس المدن سن تزاويت ناس المدن شوف ني مازيغان هذا شوف يناير ثقانا واش يدير لهم شتكي خاطر ثوقت إسرائيل قالوا زغانا يمزداريت وفاقا ذاك تلاين ان éveil de conscience وكنس وكاين كي مازيغان سيمين الشاني مازيغان يتسالي شنو كيف نجانا هذا فمن اوغال ذا شوف مازيغان ذا شكي يتساولن جمال بن حمو كنا نستخدم اساغ فاش تاكيا.
I'm honored again to present our dear guest Jamal Benhamou, who will give an overview of amazigh history and culture in North Africa, as well as some important terminology. Mr. Jamal Benhamou is an amazigh activist born in Morocco and based in the US for the last 12 years. Jamal has a BA in linguistic and international relations and currently pursuing a graduate degree in information technology. Jamal speaks Amazigh, Arabic, French, and English, and he is also a blogger who owns multiple websites about literature, health, electric engineering, and international affairs. Please join me in welcoming Jamal.
Thank you. Thank you. As we've learned, I'm going to start this greeting in Tamazight. As we've learned, Imazigh, Tarwant Mazight, Asukasam Gaz, and Nachtlam, to all Imazigh and to all those who are not Imazigh and are interested in the Amazigh culture. Today I'm going to be talking, this is going to be, of course, I'm talking about the Amazigh culture is going to take a long time, so this is going to be a brief introduction to who the Imazigh are. And so Imazigh are the indigenous people of North Africa.
ذا كان سقسيري دي تدون مس جمال بن حمو بغي غزرار خص نحكي ذا في يناير ويفن تحكوا كي شو تخمم تشيني في تفادا على الكولوندري ما لدغا يون يعني اللي مازيغان شاشناق دنسان يغالن تذيانت اسيس امازيغان تقيسين تفادا انسان. If I may translate my question, Jamal, since you gave a speech about Yenayer and Gwasam Imazighan, what do you think about the calendar of Imazighan and the idea of linking calendar with the king Shashnak, which had, by the way, even a relationship with Israel, as you may know, the Bible. We can read his name on the Bible. I think the verses Chronique, something like that, when he went to the temple of Jerusalem with the son of Solomon, Rehoboam, etc., etc. Do you agree with connecting our New Year, Berber New Year, to the King Shashnak? What do you think about this?
I mean, I personally don't think it's necessary to link the Amazigh calendar to the King Shashnak in Israel, but just like any other calendar, there is always like an event that's considered so important, and that event usually ends up being tied somehow and linked to that calendar. Like it's the same case, for example, the Islamic calendar. It's the same case for the Georgian calendar. So for me, it doesn't really make a huge difference, but having a calendar itself is important for you know, for the amazigh people, because the amazigh, whether consciously or unconsciously, before even linking you know, the amazigh New Year with this specific event, amazigh have always celebrated the Year, but they have celebrated it in a different way, in a different perspective, because even in the countryside, in the village that I come from, people looked at Year in association with the land, because, you know, Year also is used to regulate agricultural season, you know, harvest and so on, crops. And so that's, so to me, it doesn't really make that much difference, but I personally see no harm in doing that.
شو دينا مس جمال بن حمو إنك نكينين ويشقايا ميلا شود نكاكي ينايا شاشناق ماشا شي لا خنزر داكن إما زيران سيزي كاكي تفوقوا لن ينايا هاثي يلا قبل شاشناق سواطاس داين يلا نغا زغم إنا زيران شود نتصيكال لاند كي تدينا نتا تسيكال أكثر تشيرزا تفلاح ذا شكي دونكي الساس نصح كالندريا مازيغ تفلاح خاطر كل شو دنت غواكال واش كي غنتي الموزون دينا تيدات ماشا انك نشود كي يناير النغ تزيانت ساكين تاكين غرفانيك مدن شودن ثفاده في السن اللي كوموندرين سن ان ايفينمون سبيسيال يوث تزيان تما دي مسلمان يدرد وقيا جورجي لان لي جويف لاني بارابور ا لونسيان تيستامون اسمي دفدارت موثوذرت لا جونيس وكيل كالندري لي جويف لونيفرسال الكريتيان يشود عيسى ميغلول ايفن هذا الشيء كي غاسكسير جمال بن حمو. You say that it doesn't matter to tie or to link our Berber calendar to a given event, but nowadays situation dictate that each people has to link his calendar to a given event. That was the case with you as Jewish, the genus. I think you are in 5,000 whatever years now. The Arab calendar or Muslim calendar to 1,400 before because of the Hijrah, the Muhammad's immigration from Mecca to Medina, and the Chinese to Yellow Empire, l'Empereur Jaune. I don't know, it was about 3,500 years. What I want to say, we are a little bit late because we should do that long time ago. The reason why me personally, I'm happy to see the academy, Berber Academy in France, thanks to Nagadi Ammar, who is Shawi, who had this idea to give a basis to our calendar. We can refer to ourselves as amazigh, not others, because before that, mostly amazigh, that's the problem. We are connected to either to Arabs, through Muslims, or to the Christians, Saint Augustin, through Saint Augustin, Saint Donat. Now it's time to be ourselves, nothing else. What do you think about this?
Personally, I think it's never too late, and we have to start somewhere.
Exactly.
So you mentioned something, and you said, well, it's kind of too late. It's not. Can we really blame the people? Can we blame the people that have been silenced for hundreds of years? Can we really blame people are victims of Arabization policies, Arabization. This is just one small aspect of the amazigh identity. There are so many other things that have been wiped out. Like most of us, for example, I have my first name, which is an Arabic name. For example, this aspect of our culture is almost gone. Like most of the amazigh people today have Arab names. So we have to start somewhere. So linking it to this event, even though unfortunately, a lot of people in North Africa, especially the Arabized people, do not like this because they somehow think it's a conspiracy. The Jews and the amazigh are trying to wipe out. But like, I'm glad we're doing this. I'm glad, and and I'm very surprised. Like here in the United States, I'm not sure about Canada. Yeah. But in the United States, the Amazigh New Year is a huge thing. It's a big event. I was very surprised. Like in Boston, we actually had people from Qabaili region. We had singers from the Qabaili region. We had like people from all over the world. Like we all spoke different Amazigh dialects, but we were one people.
Be sure, Jamal, it's the same here in Canada. Just exceptionally this year with COVID and last year, yeah. But before that, each year, Montreal, Ottawa, Sherbrooke, Quebec, Toronto, everywhere, it is celebrated not only in Canada or United States, even in Europe. Now it's becoming an event. That's why there is big hope that everything will.
And this is how a lot of, and as I said, this is how a lot of people are finding out about us, because this event for us, it's not just music and food. It's also, we're also educating people, and a lot of people actually join the event and they don't even know what an amazigh is, but it's a cultural event. They join in and then they're discovering all of these, stuff about us, which is an amazing. So it's a cultural event. It's an educational event.
In fact, yes. هاد السوق الرشيد دينا جمال بن حمو قبل شكل مسلايد دعني انك بلي ولا قرا نلوم الجدودنا غيميا قيمن ذي سوسامن وخدمنا شمع حتى ولاش لوم فلاسن ماشي ديالو نكشو ما ديكش من نقالو ديك السن ضعرافن ils ont subi une politique d'arabisation atroce si le guérin a failli donc ni général أصدق مني مسني وكني هذا الهون دي منسن مي rien n'est trop tard ولا شو نفسن زمان بدو سيتورا هذا شكي رجعتوا نبدا سيتورا نسعى باسكالون دير الكولوندري نار نسعى يناير نسعى لاوايد نسعى إذا السحاني جادن تثلاث ثقيانز دونك ولاش ولا قا غيفغ لا ياس ميتورا هاتي زمان انفذو اقلا نفذا ثمان قلا نتفيتير ثورا يناير بارتو ديال الموند دي مسلايد غورس انك الوهاي من بكا ديال الامريكان تفيتين يناير سوقلن يناير هذاك يسقسا ديال وسم الكندا نعرفوا كندا لا ميم شوز ديال لوروب بارتو ثورا نورال we became like diaspora Jewish diaspora now
we have a lot in common with the Jewish people, and I actually had a conversation with one of my one of the New Year organizers in Boston. I told him we have so many things in common. We are in exile.
Exactly.
And we think in Pensacola, where I live, we have we actually have a big Jewish community, and I participate in their events almost like every week, and we almost think the same way as well.
Exactly, yeah. كي قرا سيدت خلا ماشي حاجه من الجويف ماشا نسى عطاس لي ريلاسيون الساغنك ديال لي جويف مزكان نتغيمي سنت مبدل لغيوي لان في تزوغاني في تسوق لغاها في اللي باللي ازال يون غير ثلاثه نمزدغ من اسرائيل تنتفض دي مزيغان دوريجين جويف يعني دي ماروك انجلاندينا دونك كواني مزيانو غادي لاسرائيل. It is basically since we mentioned the King Shashnaq, the Berber King Shashnaq, the Egypto-Berber King Shashnaq, don't forget that he was a good friend and with Solomon, King Solomon, who is Jewish. So the relations between amazigh and Jewish dates from since while now, not only from now. Yes.
And we want it to be that way because the relationship between the amazigh people and the Jewish people have always been great. It only became bad when, unfortunately, Arab nationalism was exported to North Africa, to Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, and then that's when they started like leaving North Africa. Like in Morocco, to this day, like in our villages, in Morocco we still have a Jewish community, fortunately, which is good. But the problem, the Arab ideology caused a lot of problems between the amazigh people and the Jewish people, and it's a problem that we don't need to get involved in. We need to keep those relationships. We need to, and that's what's happening right now. We're trying to fix that, and the Jewish people, it's just a religion. They're not our enemies. And yeah.
تسمى شي دينا جمال بنحمو اللي هناك ذا كان شي كاديس بغنن باللي لي جويف وذاين هكذا مزيغان تيزيك تمداخلن وغادي لا فيك ديال نوب مزغال لان تمداخلن هذا الصح. شاشناق الى ذا مداكل ذا حبيب نتيذت هكذا اللي سالومون وين مقام وعرا من سيدنا سليمان كي كيسقرن ذي تنسلمت دونك الى سي ان الينس داكشي كي جان شاشناق يروح مي يموت باباس يسعد بوام ينشف يروح هذا كي تضحك على البيبل وكي ماشي دي بوينا اغف لام فرحان تسنك تعرف لو ناسيوناليزم عرب نتسيكو كسخسران دعوة يسينو فهاد الكارو هي مزيغان ماشي ياكل ما وقاد يشدنا في نسلم داك التعارف كانو ذاين كيتولي افيك لالجيري ليكيب ناسيونال الجيريان كيتولي افيك كيك الجيريان زكان تزون الهم الكارو نو ذاين نشتكي انك يتبدل سواث دونك سيار الزات نتي تولي هذاك النسارنا ديالين اكن يغزن يا وذاين اكذ امازيغان هناك ديال الماروك باغ اكزومبل هناك قوان لا كوميونيتي جويف توران لان اوروزمون دينا اوروزمون لان ومازال اديلين غزات اشكو اديلين اش كيعرف غيتصاوبنا نسقسي واحد السيرتيف البوليتيك سينير ماس جمال بنحمو. What do you think about the recent relationship between Israel and Morocco, by the way?
Okay, so those relationships are not recent. They just came into existence. Morocco, of course, has always had a relationship with Israel. Actually, as a matter of fact, the same thing with other countries, but these other countries prefer to have those relationships in hiding, in secret. But Morocco finally came to formally establish and announce that they indeed have a relationship with Israel. I think it's a good thing. It's we can learn a lot from them. They can learn a lot from us. The only thing, though, is a lot of people fear, because Israel is a superpower. A lot of people fear that closeness between Morocco and Israel, because again, there is I don't know if you know, but there's already like China is already trying to infiltrate like North Africa. So there is China is a superpower, Israel is a superpower, Iran is also trying to actually be involved in the region. And that is what, what's scaring a lot of people. But overall, I think it is a healthy, effort to establish.
Why it is scary to see Morocco, to see Israel, China, and what's the problem?
Okay, so if I can be honest, my understanding is the regime in Algeria is pro Iran.
Yes.
Okay. And since the regime in Morocco is now establishing relationships with Israel, we know that Iran and Israel are enemies. So a lot of people they have this fear that North Africa is going to be another region like Iraq, Syria, and like the Middle East.
I understand that, yeah.
So a lot of people do actually deep down, do you want to have, establish a relationship with Israel, but they are afraid of what's that going to cause in the future.
Okay, I see. شو دينا في مس جمال بن حمو فسرنا كي قلنا دي سيرتيث يان الماروك كذا لإسرائيل إنك سيزيكي لنا شو كانت وافرين ونتقارنا وقاذن أما كام كاثورا فرد عينانيا كي نقارن دونك سي تو افي نورمال لي جويف لان دي الماروك لي ماروكيين مازيغان ما كنتو مثلا دي لإسرائيل سي ان شومينمون نورمال إنك شو كان تقدين السامكو حتى شو إنك يكون هذا شكينا دياوي البلان شكون دافو الجزائريين يسعى ساغن لإيران كتزرام تادوت إسرائيل دونك يزمن داوي الماروك ثوغال تحبث لإسرائيل يقول شكينا ديجلوس شوال تفرثو قفار توغال تفرثو قفار ماذا الجزائر الماروك ذندر نطرا كي ديضغا كي إلى الحال ذي المويا نوريون أكثر سيزيك يعني دونك ذا شكينا يجن ثورا سقسينا نقالو حتى نعطل ثورا جمال بن حمو ماشا نزمد نغالغونس سلقايت مايلين لي زيفينمون يسيا غزدات لا تقول لنا سيرتانا دي حمو سقير غزدات ذا شو مس جمال بن حمو can you tell us your point of view about Morocco and Algeria being playing with Arab Cup in soccer, in football, and Algeria being the champion of Arab champion, and this has raised a lot of reactions from amazigh side. They are not happy about this situation, and even though Israel is more close to Arab countries, Israel didn't play the Arab Cup, and Algeria and Morocco, they are so far from Arab world they play. What do you think? What's your thinking about that?
To me, this is a very sad situation, and it shows that even though there is an amazigh awakening, a lot of North Africans are still brainwashed. To me, that was very shameful for Morocco, Tunisia, or Algeria to be a part of Ka's al-Arab, the Arab Cup. It's for Arabs. It's not for North African. It's not for amazigh. And what's even worse is the fact that, these neighboring countries, Morocco and Algeria, play against each other. And eventually this even caused more damage to the relationships between these amazigh people in Morocco and Algeria, because it's a game and there is a lot of politics involved. So this cup, to me, it has caused even more issues between Moroccans and Algerians who view themselves as the Arabized ones. But the problem is this game also is doing a lot of damage because we are all amazigh, right? But what I feel like happened is this game, which is now a political game, is getting Moroccans against Algerians and Algerians against Moroccans, and they are nothing but one people. So this shouldn't be Israel, as you said, Israel, which is surrounded by all the Arab countries, is not a part of this cup, but yet the amazigh countries of Algeria, Tunisia, that are thousands of miles away from the Arabian Peninsula, are still looking to the east, are still looking, to the Arab direction for recognition. So what I suggested is to have an amazigh cup instead of an Arab cup. That's, to me, that's what needs to happen.
Okay. Thank you. I will translate in Kabyle language. شدينا مسقسا فين يشدنا فتوش كي بارافن اتكان الجزائر المغرب تونس ديكس انك الحشومه طمقراحات غاسك الناد باللي لو سيرم مشكور وكاين داطاسي مازيغان ديال ثم تفرث ويافا ماشا الا ولا كي داني الا طاس بورف لدغا وقاد عربيزين سواتاس مازال تنتمن نستطيع شكير il a rendu la coupe arabe il a rendu les choses plus compliquées اشكو يسكد الشوال داخل مزرعه يعني مزرعه وقالت تجديت نسنا كذويه هذا الشكل عن تودي تسنات اي لين سياره غزات شكون شكل يقولوا الشوال ستار دي ثماكين تيليرا بخير كني اتيدينا انك نكونين سارام سياره غزات تيليرا ميم لا كوب امازيغ pour contrer ça c'est une façon de dire nous ne sommes pas des arabes nous ne lirons pas arabe ou d'aran et confirmer des choses de l'année qui comment tu expliques امكاد صمد اذا كان ثموث اسرائيل لو الناس تقدر باراب نتسكير ديال لا كوب اراب ما الا الجزائر المغرب تونس كيبعد نسدي مليون كيلومتر سينا تسكن ديال لا كان كيفيكتيمون سي اون كونتراديكسيون شكون دونك يسمد شكينا بلي ماشي داين قالها ماشا الا كنكمل منه حجمه انه نصوت المغرب النار تورا أكون جار شوت بوفروي سكسيرو يخدم جمال بن حمو وين يسمى amazigh people rebirth نغتال اللي تسنات انو غرف amazigh ذا بغوي كان زمما تواليم ذق تيلي صغير إنس يوتيوب داو يسم جمال بن حمو لا 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 داي لا 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 أحيغاك تروت مغارت أكويني فرحاني على حاك ما كسران تكتو لماني أتقول توسرايار أتبتي يغاني تو لماني أتقول توسرايار أتبتي يغاني
We call them Berbers, but they call themselves amazigh, a people that have long existed in North Africa, but hidden in plain sight. Invaders took turns occupying their lands, but invaders came and left, one after another, while the amazigh people remain. It is one of the most mysterious stories, and they refuse but to survive and thrive. Jamal is an amazigh activist, and just like many other amazigh, Jamal went through a phase of rejection of the amazigh language and a denial of the amazigh identity.
Jamal Benhamou, your last word, if you wish to say something. I wish this time to be in Tarifi to Tessusit. Say what you can add more in Tessusit.
Okay. أزول في اللام تروانت ما زيرت أي نخت اللام سواء تقامي قبائليين سواء تقامي ريفيين نغد شلوح نغد ديسوسين تنميرت نون كلو كن رغدا ونير أمزات غيزوران نون إزوران نون قانت تمازيغت النار أكل النار أن كل جان إزوران خصا أن يوري سيزوران نكونين نجا إمازيغن نكونين we are proud to be Amazigh and we belong to North Africa and we should try to rediscover who we are. We should try to rediscover our identity. تنمير نون كلكم.
تنمير جمال بنحمو وسيني تنمير يكون كذا تيزي دقيم لي ناضي ثويل تكي مازال أو النوي أين كن يصلحان يسنتل النظام سيال تما ذوك مضال ذي مزيغان تمزيغين لي قباليين عندما لا نسيا غينا ودنيا قيمات ذي ثالوث